It's 9.
Blog Talk Radio.
You're listening to Girls vs. Ghosts Radio. Welcome to the Dr. Gina Show. Dr. Gina is a health and wellness advocate with a doctorate in occupational therapy. She graduated from NYU with a degree in psychology, finished her master's degree at Thomas Jefferson University, and earned her doctorate at Temple University, as well as she holds many certifications in nutrition, personal training, child yoga. Gina now works in early intervention, specializing in children with autism. Gina is an animal lover. She supports many rescue organizations and enjoys advocating for animal rights. Join Dr. Gina as she takes you on a journey to live your best life now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dr. Gina Show. It is President's Day, so maybe some of you got to sleep all day and maybe some of you didn't. I used to be so excited when I had a job in the school and it was President's Day or a holiday, long time weekend. I couldn't wait to sleep, look forward to that. Obviously now I don't have that type of job, so I kind of make my own holidays and take my own holidays, and that's cool too. And today I kind of guess I took my own holiday. So I celebrated President's Day by not doing much work, just getting ready for the show tonight, getting ready to talk to all you guys. And when I do have a show, it is about getting ready. It doesn't just happen. I don't just get ready and do the show. For me, because it is a lot of channeling for me, I do talk to spirit. I do have to keep my channel open, and tonight's topic, we're going to talk about raising your vibration and self-love. So usually before I do a show, I like to meditate because that will raise my vibration. I sometimes like to go to the sauna just to like detox and meditate in there, but I try to keep my conversations to a minimum, try not to have too many people affect me, do things. Usually today is like a Mondays when I have a show. It's a big day for self-love and doing a lot of things that feed my soul so that I can get ready to give the show to you guys tonight. Tonight happens to be one of my favorite topics. Raising your vibration has a lot to do with self-love, so it's kind of like a combination. So I want to thank my producer, Charlotte, who is not feeling so well today, but she's here producing my show, and I really appreciate her. And I want to thank Heather, who is definitely listening and does all of our social media. I want to thank my girls out there, Joy and Kristen. I know they're listening. And, of course, Dave. Talking about self-love, this week, me and my friends, Joy and Kristen, we went for a trip down to Philadelphia. That's where I'm from, and we train jiu-jitsu, so we did some jiu-jitsu training. But when you want to give yourself self-love, it's really good to spend time with friends that raise your vibration. And that trip last Monday, I didn't have my show last Monday because we were making that trip, and it was just an awesome day. We got to go train with our team in Philly. We're from New York, so we train with our team in New York, but we made a special trip to Philly and trained with a whole bunch of awesome people that raised all of our vibrations. It was an amazing day, and just giving yourself that type of self-love for me and my friends, that's always something that brings us up. Just for me, training jiu-jitsu, martial arts, it raises my vibration. Of course, we all had me and Joy were like done after we trained 2 sessions, and my neck needed some self-love after 2 classes in Philly getting choked out on the mat. So I had to give myself some self-love and get a massage. Definitely. But things like that are what really raises your vibration and brings you up to where you want to be. So let's go into my topic tonight. I'm going to start with raising your vibration. So this is so important that we are energy. We're 70+% water. just think of yourself, and I tell all my clients this all the time. Think of yourself as this big magnet. You're a magnet, and just think of like you're a powerful magnet. And, magnets are super cool. If you look at magnets or study magnets, magnets have so much power to attract, other magnets or things that are magnetized to them. So just picture yourself, and I always picture myself as this big magnet. So I want to attract the energy, because we are energy, that I want to keep in me. I want to bring what I need to me. Now, energy is a lot of emotions. So emotion is energy. Think of energy in motion. So it took me so long to try to figure this out. And of course, I'm still learning. I'm still on this journey. But just to understand how important energy is, and how important it is not only to keep your energy, I like to call it clean, but other energy that you're surrounded by can affect you, especially if you're feeling low. I was introduced to, and somehow I got onto the emotional scale. And I'm telling you, I've talked about it before, and all my clients know how important the emotional scale is to me. Now, it takes a while to change your energy. And I have realized how important energy is. So probably about 4 years ago, when I started really slipping down the emotional scale, now I'd say I started manifesting some negative energy. I call it like you're making a negative garden, kind of like when you start to have this garden. We're all born with this great garden, and then life turns codes and we change. So I was always pretty much living in a positive garden. But about 4 years ago, when I lost my grandmother who raised me, and then I lost a career, a job, not that I care now, but at the time I did. And my fiance at the time went and got a really long prison sentence. There was so much that was coming down on me. And for the first year, the first year of that, I was kind of in shock, but I started slipping down the emotional scale and starting to sow some negative seeds. I was complaining. I wasn't grateful. I wasn't happy for the things I had. I was pretty much a victim. And that's when I started planting my negative garden. And I am a living example. I do get to see my clients and I get to see the progress they made, but I really believe God has taken me down this hell of a journey just so I can really say I have empathy for this. So I started planting this negative stuff, and I didn't really understand what I was doing. And so about 3 years, I was living all this negative, I think of it as a garden, a bunch of weeds. The weeds I think of as negativity. So just living in the weed garden, you can't breathe. The weeds are strangling you from all this negativity that you created, because we create this. Nobody does it to us. We're not victims here. We create this. And it was really hard for me to admit this. And I realized this probably a year and a half ago. I did do some journeys. It gave me a lot of spiritual awakening. But besides doing these journeys, I also have lived and studied this. And, of course, I talk to spirit. So I had brought myself so low in this negative garden that I was living and I was attracting situations that caused me to be at the bottom of the emotional scale. So it was like insecurity, fear, shame, and guilt, the lowest disgusting weeds in that garden. All my experiences that I was living through, many where I was living, who I was living with, the people, friends that I was associating with, the relationships that I was in, everything, the work, the job, all my situations in life were living in that negative down there and in that scale of shit down at the end of that emotional scale. And again, it wasn't until probably this last year when I started saying I have to start changing the garden, like getting rid of the negativity, the weeds, and start planting some beautiful flowers. changing the emotional scale. I started realizing through my work and talking to spirit and finding what this is, and this is hard work. It's not easy. I started realizing I have to raise my vibration because I've created all this. So I have to plant some good stuff. So I had to leave the job that was making me feel powerless. You know, having a job never really resonated with me, listening to somebody tell me what to do, when to do it, and where it was going to happen. It never really vibrated. And some people, you know, can handle that and they enjoy that. For me, that was not right. You have to find the job that you can handle and makes you happy. And even if it's a job that you're in, and you got to find the gratitude in that job. It might be as simple as you like the cafe where you get the coffee, but gratitude, you have to find, to raise your vibration, you have to find gratitude in whatever it was. And not me. I was going to work on, I hate this fucking down guy. Everything sucks, this motherfucker. Everything was terrible. I did say I was going to try to stop cursing, but I'm going to try my best. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, so I was just living in that negativity. So if you're at a job now, because you need a job, it's great to live your passion. We all want to live there, but sometimes we need to have that job, you know, that just over broke thing to get us to clock the clock every day. And that was me. And you have to know that I wish I could have changed this now and know what I did know now then, but I didn't. So just, again, finding the gratitude in, like, your coworker. I really enjoy my coworker. And write it down. Write down in your gratitude. You should have a gratitude journal. And just write down, you know, I'm grateful for the coffee I had today. I'm grateful for my coworker. We had a great talk. I'm grateful for, you know, whatever your job is, a good client that came in. And try to concentrate on that gratitude, because by concentrating on that gratitude, you're now planting the pretty flowers instead of the weeds. And mind you, don't do what I did, because I sowed that. I kept planting the negativity. I didn't sit in the gratification of, oh, I got an hour lunch today, whatever it was. I just kept sowing that negative shit in my garden. So just remember to, as much as you can, find the gratitude. And if you do have a negative thought or a negative emotion comes into you, like, oh, God, here comes the boss, she's such a bitch. I like to say now, no energy, because you can concentrate on it. She's a bitch, and then you talk to your coworker, ain't she a bitch? Then all of a sudden, you got this whole negative energy going of the bitch, the bitch, the bitch. And you know what happens? She starts being more of a bitch because you're creating that energy. I never would have believed it. I never would have, but it's so true. So you have to say, and now I use the word no energy. So if somebody gets on my nerves, or, you know, something encounters me that I don't like, or I get a text message from someone I'm dealing with business-wise or something, and they say something that I don't like, I send back a little, okay. I don't even read it. As soon as I hear something that I don't like in that text, I send a okay back, and I let it go. No energy. It gets no energy whatsoever, none, because it'll just start a spiral, and then I'll start attracting more of that negative energy. So you have to try to get that gratitude journal out, and nightly think of everything you were grateful for that day. You know, I was grateful, again, for, you know, just having a job. You know, some people have a hard time even getting a job. And I'm telling you, this works like magic. And again, I've only started doing it probably in a little over a year. So I'm an experiment waiting to happen. We're all in this together, and I tell you how I go through it too. So I'm now in the middle of the emotional scale. So where you want to do is get your emotions, energy and motion, and I want you all to look up the emotional scale. This is amazing. Like, I really keep saying I'm going to do this, but I haven't done it yet, is get a poster of the emotional scale, because it has changed my life. So in the end, in that hell end, again, just think of the garden, and you're the magnet. At the shit end of this garden, you got shame and guilt. Now, what puts you in shame and guilt? Maybe you're shameful because, for me, like, I was guilty and shameful because I would sneak into work an hour late all the time, and I was always in guilt. Oh, let me not get caught. You know, I'm living down there in that shame and guilt. And it was about, I guess, you know, shame and guilt comes in with a lot of fear, like fear of getting caught, frustrating with your job. There could be shame in the fact that you're in a relationship that really sucks, and you're shameful. God forbid you could be in like an abusive relationship, and some people are abused, and you might have like you might be physically abused, and you have like a black eye, and you're so shameful. You make up the story of why you have that, and you're down there in that shame because you don't want anyone to know. You could feel guilty because you're cheating on your significant other who you say you love, and they have no idea, but, there's guilt down there for that. And believe me, that doesn't go unanswered. And I definitely had that too. Definitely made a lot of mistakes in that area. And you keep sowing it. And you think, oh, I used to think I remember thinking oh, I don't care. Why do I care? It doesn't matter. I wrote it off like it wouldn't matter, but it really does, because if you're with somebody and you're lying to them and you're cheating, and it's all it's doing is bringing negative emotion to you. People don't understand it, but it really is. So you got to get rid of that. So once you can get out of that bottom of the scale, you want to get to the middle. Now, the middle of the emotional scale is where I try to be. It's like neutrality. Sometimes it's even boredom. I lived in the middle of the emotional scale, boredom, probably for the last 6 to 8 months of my life lately. I've been living in this boredom scale because I rather had been in the boredom in the middle than down at the bottom. So I didn't want to do nothing. I didn't want to go out with, friends. I haven't even really, that was the first time I was home to Philly in 8 months. I didn't want to encounter family. I didn't want to do anything that was going to shake me down to the bottom of that scale. I stayed away from relationships, everything, because I needed to be in the middle. I wasn't going to be down there. And sometimes you have to sit in the middle of that scale for a while, which might seem like it's boredom, like you're going out of your mind. I didn't even go out. For me, I just needed to work through this. So neutrality, boredom is in the middle. How do you get neutral? Well, neutral is kind of no thought. How did I find neutrality? Because even as a kid in school, and even, again, not up until too long ago, my mind would always be thinking it doesn't shut down, does not shut. And it's like a mantra. The same thing goes over and over in your head. So if you're down at the bottom of the scale, you know what you're sowing every day is oh, my job sucks, my relationship sucks, I hate where I live. You're sowing it again and again. So you need to get, and I did it, so you need to get to where you're in the neutrality and boredom. So if a thought like that comes to your head, it's neutral. So how did I get there? I started practicing meditation. Wow, man, it's still hard for me. Still hard, and I've tried meditation in so many ways, and I never believed it to be true, but it is true. Meditation helps you practice no thought. It gives you the practice of keeping your emotions neutral, no thought. And it doesn't happen overnight, because I've been trying to meditate now probably for, again, about a year, and now I actually look forward to it. I need that. It's kind of almost like a nap for me, or it's a rewiring of my brain is starting to slip down that negativity. I got to get back and be neutral. So I'll just meditate. Give me no thought, no thought, no thought, no thought. Now, there are types of meditations out there that bring you on, let's go to the guided visualization, which is good, but I call that visualization, manifestation, that type of meditation. If you're trying to practice no thought, it's best to just have no thought. So that could be basically listening to rain. It could be listening to nothing. To me, it's listening to my cat purr. As soon as I get on the couch and I'm going to meditate, my cat, Clyde, he'll jump right up and he purrs so loud. So for me, it's like meditation for me, just hanging out with him. He's got a lot of good energy. All my cats have a lot of good energy. Animals have amazing energy. So just hang out with that thought and just have nothing. So you're practicing no thought. You're getting in the middle of the emotional scale. And this doesn't happen overnight, I'm telling you. And every time I slip now and I feel anything that's down there, there's jealousy down there. I used to have so much jealousy, which is disgusting. It's even embarrassing to admit it. But I was so jealous. I'd be jealous of whoever it was at work that had the better office, or jealous of that person has, the week off, or jealous of that person got the better caseload of people on there. I lived in that horrible jealousy. Why isn't that me? Or, and jealousy in many, many, many areas. And it is the horrible emotion to be stuck in, because there's no need to be jealous. And I remember someone telling me this when I was a kid, and it kind of sticks to me. Like, if you're trying to do something and you want to create a business or whatever it is, and you're jealous of whoever is doing it the same as you, there's no need to be jealous. And someone had told me this a long time ago. It's like McDonald's, Burger King, Roy Rogers, all those fast food people, they all make money. And I just remember that sticking in my head, like, why do you need to be jealous of whoever is doing whatever it is you're doing? Because you're all so unique in every way, and you all have that special whatever that is, and nobody's your competition. You have to all empower each other to work together, and it's best to be friends and empower each other, because there's no need for jealousy here. There's no need for that. I never really got that competition thing. That was never for me. I was never like out to be like, oh, I'm going to be better than you, or this and that. I was always the one that's like, let's work together. I always wanted like the team with me. Like, I wasn't that one man person that's like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to be the best. I was always like, let's all do this together. Let's empower each other. And I had a hard time with that, for sure, because unfortunately I had to be let down and hurt so many times to find out, like, man, these frenemies aren't like really on my team here. Like, what is going on? And I was definitely raised old school loyalty, definitely raised with some OGs, and that's how I was raised. And I didn't see anything but this is when you're in that middle circle and you let somebody in your life, like, that's it. They're in. They're your family. They're your blood. You love them as much as you love yourself. Like, you go down with them, they go down with you. That's how I was raised. The circle's small, but it's tight. I never, ever could understand. Like, it would just hurt me so much to see people that, like, I loved and trusted, and they would just continually disappoint me and do things when I'm like, we're all in this together, and, 1, 2, 3. And again, it's been probably the last year and a half or so where I've lost friendships that I've had for so long. I lost family members because I look at them and the things that I would have taken before that left me low on the emotional scale, I'm like, no, this doesn't work no more. I'm not going to keep letting this slide. You have to have that self-love. You have to keep your vibration high on that emotional scale. You can't settle for, maybe. No, there's no oh, well, and oh, maybe. That, the truth is, like, again, for me, and not everyone has to be this way, but if I say you're my friend, like, you're my friend, you're my family, you're my friend, you are. And I got you and you got me. And there's very few people that I will say, you are my friend, like, very few. I can count them. And even with relationships, I had one long-term relationship and 2 long-term relationships in my life. And that was like my best friend in the relationship. And it was tight and tough. And that's where it had to be. And that's how relationships should be. There shouldn't be any secrets and anything like that, because that's your person. And that's who you count on. So to have that keep you in the emotional scale should raise each other up. Now, you shouldn't count on each other to make each other happy. Yes, hopefully together should be happy, but you need to create your own happiness, because if you look for your partner, your significant other, to, you didn't make me happy, you're going to be disappointed again and again, because hopefully that person's trying to make themselves happy. So when you get together, you're both vibrating high enough where you're making each other happy. You can't count on someone else to make you happy. It's an inside job, and it's something that, again, I didn't get. Or you're treating me this way, or you're treating me that way. No, they're not treating you this way. They're not doing this or that to you. You're doing it to yourself by staying there. Because if you don't like the way someone's treating you, or you don't like the way the relationship's going, leave. Because by you staying there, again, you're keeping yourself down there in the bottom of the emotional scale in frustration. you're feeling helpless. You're all the way down there at the bottom. So if there's a relationship that you're in and this person isn't vibrating where you're at, you get out. And there are times when you're in a relationship and you're attracted to this person and somehow you guys link up because maybe at the time you were so low because you felt like shit about yourself that you attracted somebody that was going to treat you like that because that was your scale that you were on. You couldn't vibrate any higher because you put yourself down there. And so the people that you were attracting or, your guys or girls that you were dating were treating you or showing you that, and it wasn't because that's who they were, it's because that's where you were allowing. You allowed them to, treat you bad or not call you or not text you back or call you every once in a while, and you would continue to try to please them because that's where you're at emotionally. How do you get out of that? You take yourself out of it because you put yourself there. They didn't do it. They're not a bad person for not calling you. They're not a bad person for cheating on you. They're not a bad person for doing all these things to you because maybe they are, but once you find out they are, then you're the one who chooses to stay there. You're the one who vibrates at that level of the emotional scale where you're in there. Now, it's not easy to get out of it because we have these things called emotions. Now, think of emotions kind of like a chemical. You get this, you're used to it. It's like homeostasis. You're so used to vibrating down there. You're vibrating down there with your asshole boss. You're vibrating down there with, your partner who doesn't, make you number one or decides to have you and 3 other people or wants to, whatever it is, but you're down there. They're not doing it to you. You're doing it to yourself. You made that energy. If you don't want that energy, you got to bring yourself up on the emotional scale. Raise your vibration because guess what? That job will fall off because it no longer vibrates with you, or the job will change and all of a sudden your bitch boss is like the best boss ever. Like, wow, not because your bitch boss got any better. It's because you got better. You raised your energy. You started being grateful. You lived in gratitude. You started bringing yourself up on the emotional scale. That relationship will fall off or it's going to get better. And again, it's not going to be anything but you. That person that you're seeing didn't all of a sudden decide, I'm just going to see you and treat you so good. You decided that that's what you want. And he or she either raised to your vibration or fell off because a magnet is not going to attract to something that it's not going to attach to. Think of that. You're the big magnet. So you have to keep that vibration where it is. And again, I'm not saying it's easy to pull yourself there because you're used to vibrating in a certain way. So if you're used to vibrating down there, you're automatically, the chemical, the emotion wants to keep going back to where it feels comfortable, You have to keep bringing yourself up to that neutrality, practice meditation, keep bringing yourself we're not even talking about getting up to the top of the emotional scale yet. Just think about, keep bringing it up to neutrality. And for me, it was kind of like a struggle. I kept falling back down the freaking ladder. Like I was up neutrality, and bang, right back down into the shit that I stowed for so long in that shame, guilt, fear, jealousy, frustration, unworthiness, everything. I kept falling back into the situations that I was in before because I couldn't keep myself in the damn neutrality. It was so hard. And I still work on this. I'm not saying that I've made it to the top of the emotional scale. It's something I try every day. Everything I'm telling you, I'm doing it. I'm practicing this. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to keep my emotions up because I've been at that bottom of the emotional scale. I saw what I've done to my life. I saw how I slipped in all areas of life, and I saw what it gave to me. And I look around and said, I can't. I gotta stay in this neutrality, and it's hard. It's hard. But once you make it and you hang in there, it's like climbing the ladder, and you're hanging on to that neutrality. And every time you get one of those thoughts, you write in your gratitude journal. You say, for me, I say no energy. You meditate. You get to that neutral spot. Once you get there, and again, if you're down there at the bottom of the scale, it takes a lot of work. If you're blessed enough to be in the neutral spot, then it's only up from here. That's when manifestation starts. That's the best part because manifestation and all these things that you guys want, all those things that I want in life, that doesn't happen when you're at the bottom of the emotional scale. Everyone's like, and, as a reader, for me, I do the tarot cards, but I use energy for it, but I mostly talk to spirit. And as a new reader, when I remember always doing, like, how come I can't see the future? It used to bug me so much. Like, how come I can't see it? How come it's not coming out? And again, in my journey here, it wasn't until recently I said I would talk to, read someone, and sometimes spirit will tell me, exactly what's going to happen with this person. That's either written or something they decided, it's in their Akashic records. It's law, so it's going to happen, and they'll clearly show me that. But sometimes I'll be looking and I'll be talking to spirit and I'll be reading the energy and seeing where it goes. And I'll say, like, I can see, and I used to wonder why I can see it, but it doesn't happen. Well, I know now because I see what they created, because everything is an emotion. So whatever somebody wants, when I'm reading my client, I'll look and, somebody wants to get a new house or something, and I clearly see the new house. I'm like, oh, yes, I see it. But you know what I see? I see the energy that they created. How are they going to get there? How are they going to get that house? Because they might come back in 6 months, Gina, I didn't get that house. I didn't. So I start seeing a percentage now because I can see how much energy that has. So I'll tell my clients, I see where the percentage is. And if I see like a 76%, it's a high chance, but they still have a chance they're going to slide down that emotional scale. How are you going to manifest what you thought of? How are you going to manifest when I'm reading you what I see that I can see there? You got to stay high on the energy scale. I know that now. So when people come to me, first of all, people and my friends will know if I'm channeling, a lot of times you're crying because spirit's tough. They're going to tell you exactly, what it is you're doing wrong. They're guiding you. I'm not going to tell you, oh, you're going to marry Bob in 5 weeks. Sometimes that might come, but when you're getting a reading with me, it's a lesson. I'm talking to spirit. I'm talking to my guides, your guides. I channel the counsel who's giving you what it is. So I never figured out until recently, how come it didn't happen? Well, I know now. And now I ask spirit to show me a high percentage, and they'll show me where that energy goes. Where's that relationship? This is where the energy's going. Now, people are like, well, how come I didn't get back with Bob, and how come Alice isn't with me anymore? How come? Well, because you're not just working with Bob or Alice. You're working, Bob and Alice have their own energy, So you're not going to get back with them. Work on your own energy. People are like, I want to get back with so-and-so. Oh, so-and-so is the love of my life. You know who the love of your life is? You're the love of your life. You are. And it's not until you love yourself, self-love, you love yourself so much, it doesn't matter if you get Bob or Alice back. Because, and I tell my clients all this all the time, don't ask for Bob or Alice back because Bob or Alice didn't work. That's why you were down there at the low end in the emotional scale. Start loving yourself so much that you're going to get Bob or Alice back the way you want them, or you're going to get someone better. Because if you're not in that self-love spot and you're trying to get this person back, you're not going to get them back because you're not working with yourself. Love yourself so much first that you don't want them back if you're going to have them the way they were before, because why would you want to put yourself back at the low end of the emotional scale? And just remember, you can't wish somebody, a third party, back with you because they might have somebody else that wants to be with them, or there's a lot of energies that are going on. So it should be irrelevant. The most relevant thing is the self-love you give to yourself. Loving yourself. Who attracts you or vibes with you is going to be the most amazing person ever, 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 and you can never question it, but that's only until you get yourself right. And again, I live it myself. I see it with my clients, and I hear spirit talk about it. Of course, I have a master's degree in counseling, and that helps too, but altogether, it's mostly energy. So what happens when you get past that neutrality in the emotional scale? Now you think about it. Some children, unfortunately, are born into situations where, they might experience fear from day one. Maybe, they're in a bad situation. And the poor children are already, coming into a low centered, low gravitational down there on the emotional scale. But coming from my perspective, I was definitely, challenges when I was born, probably definitely had some challenges. But some children are born already on the high emotional scale. So we have to work. When you're a kid, it's hard to understand these lessons, and you create a lot of things because you're not really in control of who you are. But once you're able to understand this and you get to a certain age, then you can start changing it. But as a child, it is definitely hard if you're put in that situation. So we would hope that if there's parents that we want to bring our children up on this emotional scale however we can, because they really depend on us to be there. And it's the same thing with pets too. Like, I look around at my pets, and my pets are so on the top of the emotional scale. Like, they are up there. They're up in freedom and joy and appreciation and love. Like, my pets are vibrating so damn high. And sometimes they get sick, and I think, oh, my God, like, they're older now. They're 12. I'm like, they're not going to make it. They're not going, they're so sick. But I usually stay home. I'm such a pet mom, and give them, like, the most amazing love. And a couple of times when I thought this was it, they just come back, and they're just in the best spot, because as I'm only a cat parent here, but, as a parent, we got to give our children all that top emotional love to bring them to where they need to be, because they can't do it for themselves at a young age. We got to teach them how to be up in that top of the emotional scale. And it's hard for some children that are unfortunately born in different places, but once they get to a certain age, they can start learning this and bringing themselves up. So let's go back to what happens when you get past this neutral part of the emotional scale and start bringing your vibration to where you need to be. So once you make it over this hump, it's kind of like crawling up the damn hill, and then you're in the middle, and then you get up to the top, and you're actually joyful. And this is gratitude, living in your gratitude journal, writing down what you're grateful for, writing down what you have gratitude for, feeling freedom, empowerment, happiness, optimism, having belief, being hopeful, being enthusiastic, being valued, all the top things. This is when life gets amazing. This is when you start having all these manifestations. This is when life gets great. Okay. All right. So I want to, real quick, I'm going to do a universal reading because I want to get this out, and then I'm going to take some callers. So I want to do a universal reading. This reading, I pulled some tarot cards from the Rider-Waite deck, and this is going to be a reading, and if it resonates with you, great. And if it does, I want you to take this message home. So after this reading, I'm going to take some callers and get some insight from them. So let me just go here. Okay, so whoever's listening and this resonates with, I see a balance coming into your life. You've been trying to balance two jobs. This looks like you're trying to balance a career that you have now and a passion. So you've been trying to do both, and it's been rough waters for you. You're going back and forth with, I really want to do this passion, but I really need to make money. I have to do this. I have to make money. So you need to just let go of that and stop being stressed, and just understand that you will be able to balance both, but as long as you stop stressing. Get your journal out. Be grateful for the job that you have that lets you do the passion that you will succeed in. But it's only until you understand that you can do both and stop the stress and have no emotion for that. Again, be grateful for what you have and know that what you want is coming, but it only is going to come when you're grateful for what it is you have now. You will be making a lot more money at your passion. But again, that passion is only going to come when you're grateful for the situation that you have now. Be grateful for everything that you have now, and that passion will come to you. Okay, so I am going to take my first caller now and see how this goes, guys. So let's go. Caller number 1.
Hi, Christy. You're live on the air with Dr. Gina.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, this is Dr. Gina. Who am I speaking with?
My name is Christy.
Hi, Christy. And do you have a question for me?
Just a second, please, because I feel like I can never get a second to myself. Can you give me a second, please? I apologize.
Okay.
I don't really have a question. I was my aunt, I guess, who calls in and listens to you and has talked to you before, has told me great things about you. And she just told me to call in tonight and just to listen to you. So I don't know. I don't have like a specific question to ask right now off the top of my head.
Okay. So let me just see if I can tune into your energy, Christy, and give you a message, okay? So just give me a second.
Thank you.
Okay, Christy, so the first thing you need to hear is that you need to believe in yourself more. And as my show is talking about, you need to have more security in yourself and who you are, that you're unique in who you are and you're special in everything that you have. This show is amazing for you because you really need to appreciate this self-love. So I want you to get a journal, and in your journal, I want you to write down everything that you contribute to your work, everything you contribute to your family, everything you contribute, all your positive aspects. Write them down, and I don't want you to say of anything that you feel that you're not good at. I just want you to concentrate on the positive aspects, and I want you to keep bringing yourself back to what you contribute in all areas of your life and have that self-love for yourself, knowing that you do bring a lot of people happiness. You bring people up on the emotional scale. That's what you do. People in your family, that you deal with in your work, people that you just pass by in the street with your smile and your happiness. So I want you to know that you are helping people, but now you have to give that self-love to yourself. So this is a good episode for you, and I want you to get that gratitude journal and start practicing that, just a little homework thing for you. How does that message resonate with you?
Okay, very good. Thank you. I struggle in that area a lot.
Yeah, well, we all do, and it's a lot of work. But if you just start small and just start being grateful for who you are and just looking at all your positive aspects, and again, just writing them down, because sometimes you don't understand how you help people in this world, and you don't even see that. You concentrate on why you're not good enough or what you think you need to do better. But let's change that. Let's bring up yourself on that emotional scale, and just let's start being gratitude and being grateful for all the great things you are and for all the people. You can even ask people. I used to do this when I was starting to figure this out, like, what is it that you like about me? Because I couldn't even figure out what I liked about myself. How could anyone even like me? Because I didn't like myself. What do I do good? You know, and I had to start asking people, and people would be like, oh, you're funny and you're smart. And I'm like, I am? Like, it was so hard because I was so lost in when I started this negativity stuff 4 years ago. I was so lost in what do I bring? Oh, I couldn't even see myself as any of these things that people were saying to me. And they were like, oh, yeah, we really like being, you're funny, you're a good friend, you're pretty. And I was like, really, I feel like unworthy. I felt I was down there. So I had to start asking people, and it was so hard for me to understand that people appreciated me. So that's the first thing you have to do, is start ask people if you have to, and write it down, and you start to realize, like, okay, maybe I am good, and you start appreciating this and realizing who you are and being grateful. And follow my Instagram. And follow, and I'll help you with that, and just lead you on this journey together. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for calling in. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to take another caller.
Hi, Jennifer. You're live on the air with Dr. Gina. Hello.
Hi, Jennifer. This is Dr. Gina.
Hi, Gina.
Hi,
Me, Jennifer.
Is this the Jennifer that I know?
Yes,
Jennifer?
the Jennifer that you know.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, I recognize your voice now. So nice.
You see, I call
How
you
are
much,
you?
see?
How are you doing?
I am good. I feel like I'm having more confidence in myself. So, like, I don't necessarily have a specific question today, but I guess it's still.
We're going to talk to you. That's okay, because Spirit wants to talk to you. They're comfortable with you. They know you. So
okay.
Let's get you a message. Okay, hold on. So, we've been working with you to get that confidence up. And people who don't know Jennifer, she's like this amazingly talented, beautiful girl, and she don't see that for herself. And you were vibrating down low on that emotional scale and all those things we talked about. And you were down there, and it was even hard. I'm sitting there telling you, and I could see in you weren't believing any of these things that, you were funny, you were cool, you're fun, you're talented. And this is perfect for you because, like, it's a struggle for you to even realize this. And I know you've been working on this and trying to find your self-worth and all these things and not settling for things that you would settle for. And how are you? So you're doing good with that, right? You've been practicing that?
I've been practicing. It's like, it is challenging. And I'm just like, okay. But like slowly by slowly, like you're just like, you know what? I'm trying to pass my test, okay?
Hashtag pass your fucking test.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess like, does my spirit, like, am I on the right road? Like, it's like, I know that we're always working with a guide. Like, it's always a guide that brings the confidence down.
It is, and it's one of the challenges. You're on your right word. You're on the right road, and just like I said, like, it wasn't every time. Like this person, for example, that any person that you're dealing with, it's when you change the energy, the situation changes. If you don't change the energy, the situation stays the same, the definition of insanity. And you've seen this. As soon as I was able to direct you and say, hey, this is where the energy is at. You got to move the energy. And I know at least 2 times that you did move the energy, things went in favor with you because you started having more confidence in who you were and you changed the energy and you got the desirable results that you wanted. And nothing changed with the situation. The only thing changed is when you realized who you were and had confidence in your own energy. And you started getting things that you wanted and responses that you were looking for. And it was no other reason except for you changed, right?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
That's it. You've got to keep on that emotional scale. And when you do, you're going to get the situation you want. And if you don't get the situation you want, you're going to get something so much better that you won't care about the situation that you at one time wanted. And that's the most important thing. As long as you stay in your confidence and you stay where you need in your energy, you're going to win every time, every single time. And you're already winning. You're already bringing it up. You've already won so much. You've changed so much in such a short period of time. It's amazing. And as long as you stay there, you're going to get that situation again or something better. You're destined to win. And you should know that by now, just in the little examples that you've seen.
Yeah. But I still need you to help me with the text messages. I'm not going to lie.
I'm always going to help you with the text messages. You know that. You just send them to me and I got you.
I just wanted to say, like, I'm sorry?
I'm going to teach you how to do it yourself, but for now we're still in lessons. I'm still teaching you, yes.
Perfect.
So
I just want to say thank you.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you for being such a good student because by you doing so good, it helps me. By my clients bringing themselves and their vibration up, by them doing good, by you guys doing good, it gives me that hashtag. How the fuck can I hashtag fail my test if I'm not past? I gotta do it by example, right? You know, so I'm helping you and you are helping me. So that's how it works.
Yeah, and like we'll both pass our fucking test together, all right? And like I tell my friends about, I'm like you have to go to Gina. Whoever's listening now, she's a real deal. She's legit. Like, so she will help you, and you will get more confidence in yourself.
Oh, well, thank you for that. See, I paid her to call in. Thank you.
Free advertisement.
Thank you. You can hang up now.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Jennifer. All right. We'll talk soon. All right. Bye. All right. Caller next.
All right. So we have like 2 of my favorite worlds colliding tonight, Dr. Gina. On the line, we have the Ken Boggle.
I was hoping and praying that he called in. I don't know Ken like you know him yet, but I know his energy. and Ken's energy is amazing. So let's bring him on.
He is.
Hi.
Hi, Ken. Hi. It's
Hi,
so nice
it's me, Ken Boggle.
I know. Ken is like in this field, anyone that's listening, Ken Boggle is the man that I'm so excited to have him call in. He is like the icon here. He is Ken Boggle. He has his own shows. He's a tarot card, like the best tarot card reader. Like everybody wants a tarot card reading from him. I totally need to get a tarot card reading from him. I've just been afraid to get a tarot card reading, but he's like me. It's just like he's going to tell you exactly how it is, and sometimes you got to be ready for that. So I recently had seen. I just want to bring this up. I recently was on Ken's Instagram, and it was Valentine's Day. And, we're trying to, for me, I'm single, I'm not with anyone, and I haven't been with anyone. So it was like, not that I really care so much about Valentine's Day, but I happened to tune into Ken's Instagram. And he was saying, you were talking about self-love, and then you said something that was so funny about you, and it just hit me. You're like, don't be the side hoe, because if you're the side hoe, you're not the How did you put that? What was it you said?
Never be the side hoe. Always be the main hoe. If you can't be, look, never be the side thought. Now, THOT, thoughts. That means the hoe over there. Okay, THOT. Never be the second thought. Be the main thought, or let it go. You got to let it go.
It was that when you said that to me, I was just like, you said that to the Instagram, and I, sometimes I watch stories, but I'm not like the biggest story watcher there. But I happened to tune in. I must have watched you say that 5 or 10 times. I swear. I replayed it. I was like, that is the best. Like, I don't know if like Spirit told you to say that or not, but like for me it was like, you're right, because on Valentine's Day, it's funny because a lot of guys will be like, oh, my girlfriend says she's going to give me sex, but don't you have sex all the time? But yeah, like that's the main hoe. The main hoe is going to give you like your special sex, but the side hoe is not with you on Valentine's Day. The side hoe is not with you on Christmas.
Right.
They're not.
Well, here is where that came from.
Mm-hmm.
So I was dating this amazing, wonderful guy. He was like gorgeous, like the most beautiful man God ever laid breath to. And he was so emotionally unavailable that I couldn't take it, right? Like he was emotionally unavailable. He didn't show up for New Year's. He didn't show up for the birthday. He was not going to show up for Valentine's Day. And I was like, wait a minute. Either I am the side hoe or I am the second thought. And the reality is you should never be either of these things. If someone shows you through their actions, never listen to what they say. Always listen to the action. That you're not a priority, that you're not number one, then you got to bounce. You have to bounce. You have to let them go.
Right.
So my message on Valentine's Day was liberate yourself from relationships where you are a second thought.
Yes, because that puts you down at that low end of the emotional scale, down there in shame, fear, guilt, unworthiness, jealousy. Yes, because when you do that, you wind up down there, and I vibrated down there in that situation, and that you start attracting other things in life that way because of it. It's true. Like, how could you go around letting yourself be like unworthy?
Like a lot of people think that sadness, loneliness, hurt, and pain are the only lower vibrations. But there's also another one, which is hunger. I want to be that person's main thought. I want to be that person's loved one. And oftentimes that doesn't happen. It just does not happen. So what you have to do is you have to say to yourself, now, wait a minute. If you can't call me every day, if you can't see me once a week, if you can't text message my ass back, well, then we have to bounce. Like, I don't want no scrub. I don't want no scrub. I don't like my good friend Lisa Left Eye Lopez used to say, I don't want no scrub. I don't want to be your second thought. I ain't your red light special. You know what I mean? I ain't those things. So you got to really check yourself before you break yourself and say, hey, look, you're not giving me what I need. And for as long as that is true, you and I cannot be together. So he was beautiful. He was gorgeous. He was 45. I mean, he was delicious. But he could not, beautiful. But he could not give me what I needed. And
so
what I needed was, I had to bounce. And what better thing to give yourself on Valentine's Day than just this moment of clarity that says, I don't need your ass. Why should I compromise?
Did you come up with this on Valentine's Day? Is that when that was your cutoff?
Well, now look, on my 10-year anniversary, my husband told me he wanted a divorce. And on Valentine's Day, I broke up with this gorgeous man. So I do romance all backward. You know what I mean? I do it all backward. But what I did do is I liberated myself from that so that I could go do other things. I could let myself be free. I could let myself be who I really am, which is a free spirit who is ready to love, who is emotionally available, who is ready for the next step. And if you ain't those things,
second thought, you know, or not as important. Yes.
Right. So I had to bounce. It turned out to be a fabulous Valentine's Day. I spent it with a married couple who I just put my arms around and was like, hey, bitches, guess who your Valentine is? Use this, my Valentine. And it went fabulously well. But at the end of the day, you know, you got to say to yourself, loneliness is better any day of the week compared to waiting, being hungry, starving, being thirsty for someone to show you that you care.
Now that's boredom, or boredom in the middle of the emotional scale. You got to get out of that shame, fear, guilt, hunger, apathy. And then
liberate yourself from that.
Yes. It's better
absolutely.
to be bored than handling the crumbs or being the second thought or share. Like, you know, there's a lot of people that don't mind sharing. They have 2 or 3 boyfriends or girlfriends. But if that doesn't resonate with you, don't think that it's okay to make yourself feel like, oh, it's okay if I'm not number one, or it's okay if I'm sharing. Well, if that doesn't resonate with you and you're not that polyamorous kind of cool, open person, then you're hurting yourself. You're keeping yourself down there. So, yes, better to be bored in the neutrality of it all than be down there. Yes.
It all boils down to, where are your standards? Where is your integrity? Who are you? Right. Who are you at the end of the day? If you're willing to play that game of being the second thought or being a side hoe, which means he's already got a main hoe, right? He's already got the main boo, the bottom hoe, and use just a side hoe. You have to say to yourself, am I okay with that? And often for me, well, every time for me, the answer is no, you know.
Right.
I think like I can do bad all by myself, but at the same time, I do great things by myself, so who cares?
Now, the thing is, and this happens to people get stuck down there in that feeling bad. It's hard to crawl out because you justify, especially if you're with like a narcissist or a sociopath, and they try to tell you like, oh, well, you know, I'm just with you, or, you know, I'm only with you, or they're lying, or they're saying like it doesn't matter, like, you know, that's how life. Anyway, they try to manipulate it. They get your head so confused, and it's sometimes hard to pull yourself up, and that's why you got to practice the meditation and practice the no thought, so you get enough strength to pull yourself out of the body.
But the other side to that is, so many people unpack themselves in the second thought position for so long that it becomes natural. They think, well, this is where I belong. This is where I should be. And the reality is, baby girl, it ain't. It ain't that.
Yes. You get down there so hard. You're down there to think like, well, maybe everybody, you know, is this way. Maybe, you know, at least like you had an attractive guy. At least you're saying like, at least I'm with someone that's good looking, that I'm attracted to. So I want to settle for being, the second thought, or not so important, or not committed, because at least I have someone, at least I have this person. Yes. And you get used to unpacking, like you said, yourself down there.
Right.
And
right.
yes,
and you
get
stay
stuck
there,
in it.
and it becomes natural, and it becomes a
Yes.
thing where you're like, well, this is where I belong. And at the end of the
Mhm.
day, you deserve better. You can do better. Your ass should do better.
Right.
Do
It
better.
becomes homeostasis, I say. Your body
Yeah.
has to keep going back to what you feel comfortable
Yeah.
with. And for me,
Well,
I
I mean,
what I had
at
you
the
get
end of the
confused.
day, you get confused, and at the end of the day, he just wrote me like 2 seconds ago.
Oh, ironic.
Like, I hope you're well. I mean, I'm having drinks at a bar with my friends. I'm having a great time. Then you're gonna telephone me like a Beyonce Gaga mashup? No, I ain't having that. Look, I hope you're well too, because I have no bad karma. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I hope
Mhm.
all the best for you. I hope it all works well. But I'm gonna get mine. At the end of the day, I'm gonna take care of me. And you have to wait for my text response. Like you have to wait for me to write your ass back.
This goes back to everything I've been saying. I say to my clients and everything else, like, oh, Bruce, my guy, coming in like right now, saying like, this is where you need to be. See, because you pulled yourself up and now you feel so good about yourself. You don't even care that they text you. You don't care. You don't care because you're now loving yourself so much. That is irrelevant.
But you have to love yourself. Now, lots of people think that loving yourself is narcissism, or that it is ego. Not really. Not truly. Real, true self-love is important, because if you can love yourself, if you can give of yourself openly and freely, then these other things, these other situations, these other scenarios where you're not being loved to the best of someone else's ability become very secondary. They're not giving you what you need. They're not providing you the love and support that you need. They're not giving you what you need, and it's easier for you to bounce. So if you're stuck in a situation like that, you have to say to yourself, do I really love me?
Yes, and that's it. And I had been in that situation, and I had to say to myself, like, I didn't love myself because I had been through, again, 3 or 4 years of, and I had realized that, hey, man, you're treating yourself so bad. Like, if you don't treat yourself good, why do you expect someone else to? Like, if you treat yourself bad, how do you expect someone else to treat you good? Like, you got to treat yourself good. You got to love yourself, make yourself happy, because by you treating yourself good, you're not going to want those situations no more. You won't even vibrate there. It won't feel good. You won't want to stay there because now your homeostasis is not there. It's only there when you don't feel good about yourself, for sure.
Absolutely. And also there's a huge red flag that pops up that says you ain't getting what you need. You ain't getting what you need. You're not being appreciated. You're not being loved. You're not being cared for. And if you want to ignore that, that's on you. But if you want to get in there and change that, if you want to make it better, if you want to radically revolutionize where you're at in your relationships, you will pick you every single time.
And then you'll get somebody that wants to appreciate you and vibrate where you're at.
I'm just waiting for someone to vibrate where I'm at. I'm just waiting for it.
Charlotte, our lovely producer, has informed me that we have another. Do you want to take a call with me? You want to help me answer a question?
Sure. Yeah.
Super cool, man. This is super cool because they have no idea they're going to get this. Okay, so let's take a caller, and we're going to have Ken help me answer this question. So we'll take the next caller.
Okay.
All right, Melinda, you have a rare treat. You are live on the air with both Dr. Gina and Ken Bogle.
Hi, Gina, and hi, Ken. Wow.
Hi, Melinda. So, Melinda, I know Melinda. I had read for Melinda. Melinda herself is also a intuitive and an energy worker. So this is like the power of 3 right now.
Love it. Love it.
So I'm going to let you ask the question, Melinda, and I'm going to let, because we have spoke before, I'm going to let Ken answer this one for you, okay? So
okay, awesome.
Go ahead with your question.
Okay, so I feel like just on the level of like high vibration and positive energy, it was like so much easier for me. Like it was so easy for me to get grounded and to get clear and focused. And I think because of that, I manifested some wonderful things in my life. And I'm now 3 months pregnant, expecting a little baby, which is great. Yes. So the thing is that I think since the pregnancy, I just, and I'm in a wonderful relationship, but I don't know if it's because the stakes are high or I'm so afraid of loss. I've just fallen into more anxiety. And it's harder for me to get back to who I was or where I was. And I feel sometimes it's really hard for me to stay in a high vibration.
Okay, so I'm going to let me answer this first, Ken, and then I'm going to have you jump in because I'm hearing something from Bruce who's like busting in. And first, let me say congratulations because I had read for you before, and I know you weren't really sure, and I'm like, I definitely see. Did you say little girl?
It's actually a boy.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I just found out. I had a little test.
Okay, congratulations. So I knew
Thank you.
that was coming, and Spirit just wants to say to you that let's go back 6 months ago, okay, when you weren't even sure about where you are today. So what you need to do to bring this vibration and keep it up is go back to that gratitude journal, okay? Your life has gotten so much where you want it to be in the last 6 months that you got to realize where you were and where you are. And that's when things will feel more secure for you, to see where you brought it. You're shaky and wobbly right now because you feel like you're losing ground and you can't keep it, because you're forgetting to be grateful for how amazing everything has turned out. Does that make sense for you?
I think so. I mean, there's also this underlying sort of real risk of being like a high-risk pregnancy, and like I just don't want any of this wonderful stuff to go away. But I do hear what you're saying about remembering to be grateful.
Okay. Well, I know that you're not. Don't say that it's a high-risk pregnancy, for one. That gets no energy, all right? No energy.
Right.
Don't even use the word. Go back to Wayne Dryer. I am, the power of I am. I am in a high-risk pregnancy gets no energy. So I'm in a healthy pregnancy. So there you go right there. Change the vibration and energy right with your wording, okay?
Got it.
That gets no energy every time it comes. You're in a healthy pregnancy. You're getting ready to have a healthy baby. That's where you're at. And in your gratitude journal, I am in a healthy pregnancy. You start scripting and gratitude, okay? Scripting and gratitude. That's where we're at. I know this is a quick call, and we definitely need more time, but we only have a few minutes. Now, Ken, do you want to add something to this?
Absolutely. So I always do. So while you were manifesting these things, while you were putting yourself in this vibrational path, what was your daily practice? What were you doing?
I was doing a lot of walking in nature. I mean, just grounding myself, hugging trees, meditating, and exercise. I feel like a lot of these things have fallen away just from the fatigue and the exhaustion and the nausea.
Press pause. You got to go back to that. Let me explain why. The universe listens. You said, I am ready. Here I am. I'm giving you my energy. Then you started to get what you wanted, and then you started to kind of back off from what gave you those things. You have got to get back to that. You've got to hug those trees. You've got to go for your walk. Like Dr. Gina said, you have to get in your gratitude journal. You cannot allow yourself to what we in the South call backslide because you started to get what you wanted. You have to continuously give it and nurture it, every single thing you can, for as long as you can. And at the end of the day, not only will you have a fantastic pregnancy, but you will be fulfilled because you have stuck through good times and bad and received all of the benefits from your hard work and effort. Put that karma, put that cause, put that effort into a fabulous, wonderful collection of these things that you love, that you need, and commit yourself to doing those things. If not, you will always be on the roller coaster of life. And believe me, you have always been on the roller coaster of life. So check yourself before you wreck yourself and get yourself back together to where you know you should always be. You're a higher vibrational being. That's who you are. So exist in that. Don't ever back up from that. Always live in that, okay, babe?
Okay.
Thank you.
Melinda, I got my producer, who's also intuitive, running the show, is texting me. She wants to get this across to you. She said once you get through this 3rd month, the 4th to the 7th month of your pregnancy is the power time. So she's telling you to enjoy the process and just enjoy the vibration of the child that you're having.
Yes, and relax.
Thank you.
Chillax. Let yourself enjoy it. Absolutely.
All right.
All right.
Thank
you, Melinda.
So
and
much,
keep in touch. Message me on Instagram and stuff, and we'll be in touch. Okay.
All right. I will. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Melinda. All right, we're going to try to get another caller in here. Sorry, guys, that the calls might have to be a little short, and we're trying to finish them all. So let's take another caller.
All right, Carol, you are live on the air with Dr. Gina and Ken Boggle.
Cool. I get a double whammy tonight. This is awesome. First of all, the show's been amazing.
2 on 1, babe.
2 on 1. I love it.
Wait, who do I have on the line right now? I didn't hear.
It's Carol, Gina.
Hi, Carol. Hello.
How are you?
How about this, Carol? This is Ken. This is
Ken.
This is a good client, Carol, and it's good to hear you, Carol. Last time I talked to you, your dog was sick, and I believe he's doing better.
He's great. He is great, and you brought up percentages, and you were right on point because you gave me a very high % with his recovery, and he's driving me crazy, but it's a good driving me crazy. So I was super happy about that.
Good.
But I've been definitely loving the show tonight, and Ken, it's super nice hearing you on it and getting your input too. So I just had something real crazy kind of happened to me, which the show's based on self-love, and I feel like I'm a pretty high energy person and try to put out good energy and good vibes, and I love being around people. And I recently went on a medical mission to the Dominican Republic, and I was pretty psyched about going, but when I started the journey it was a couple weeks ago, when I was leaving that Sunday, I had this really weird underlying anxiety going on, and got there. The 3rd one I've been on, and some people were the same, and it was so crazy because this is going to sound completely ridiculous, but to me it was like a huge thing. I let someone's opinion of me really kind of take over, and I felt like it ruined my time. And their opinion, which is so fucking ridiculous, had to do with me having a tattoo on my arm. And it just bothered me that they were so kind of judged me because of that, didn't take me for who I was. And I felt like it bothered me that I allowed that to happen. And so I talked to my niece about it, who's really super, she just always gives good advice and stuff like that. And she's like, you got to get this book called The Four Questions, I think it's called. I actually just bought it. I have to read it.
The Four Agreements.
The Four Agreements.
The Four Agreements.
Yeah. So I have it wrong, but anyway, I'm going to read that. But I don't know why I let that bother me like that, Gina. And it really, I have to work on. And I talked to another friend, Joanna, who you know very well, and she was like, her analogy is like, I worry too much about what people think about me. And I did some soul searching with that, and I thought, you know what, I do, and I have to kind of learn to love myself a little bit more, and not it doesn't matter if somebody doesn't like me or somebody doesn't feel how I feel, like the energy I'm putting out, like that's their problem. Like I shouldn't worry about. Okay. They're allowed to have their opinion.
Let me get this answer caught because Bruce is busting in to talk to you. So just listen to this, and then we're going to let Ken jump in. Okay. Sorry, he's coming in. Listen, the first thing you have to realize is this goes back to you. It's nothing to do with what this person said to you, how this person judged you or not. It's because somewhere along the line there, you felt like when this person said it, it vibrated right back to where your energy was. Like, oh, this tattoo, well, maybe, you weren't sure about the tattoo anyway. Maybe you didn't like the tattoo. If you felt confident and good enough about that tattoo, you'd say, fuck it. I don't give a shit about that tattoo. That tattoo, it's my tattoo. But because you didn't feel so confident in who you were with that tattoo, you let them affect you. So, yes, it goes back to bringing who your self-love is, who you are, because if you were secure and confident in yourself and who it was you were and powerful enough, they wouldn't even get in to affect you. Your vibration wouldn't budge. You'd stay in neutrality. So you have to say no energy with that, no energy, and it'll never get to you again. Okay. So that's what Bruce says, and I just want to give you an example of this. I remember I have a lot of tattoos. Just like you, I'm in the medical field, and I work with patients. I work in hospitals, and I remember my grandma always saying, "Oh, don't get the tattoos on your arm. My God, it's the white trash. They're going to think that and this about you." And I just remember getting more and more tattoos, and I was like, you know what? I don't give a fuck because, but I had to feel confident. But for a while, there'd be a time I'm like, oh, I have to cover the tattoo up, and
Yeah, and maybe.
But she had me feeling, it was the way that she had me conditioned, my subconscious mind. And now I'm just like, yeah, this is my tattoo, and I don't care because you're going to work around me. And once you get the confidence in who you are, then it won't matter. So it's not just like, don't matter what they say about you. It's being who you are, because it won't matter what they say about you when you have so much love. It doesn't matter. You see?
Yeah. And I think you maybe hit the nail on the head with that, because, I mean, I remember, and my son is an amazing tattoo artist, and he actually is the one that did it, and there was a lot of meaning behind it. And like I wear it proudly, but I remember when I got it on my arm, being in the medical field, I was like, oh shit, like this is going to be like really out to sea. So, when I need to cover up, I cover up, but I just didn't think it was a big deal. But you're right. I think maybe my own vibe was coming across as maybe big.
It was your vibe. Otherwise, it never would have got you. That's it. So let me let Ken jump in on this and give his opinion on this one, and then we have a little bit more time because we have a couple more callers. So go ahead, Ken.
So your name is Carol, right?
Yes. Hi, Ken.
All right. Listen very carefully.
Okay.
You have to remember your why. Why did you get that tattoo?
Do you want my answer?
Why did you get that tattoo? Absolutely. Give it to me.
Oh, because, so it's called the Rose of No Man's Land, and I'm a nurse. I do medical missions. My husband's retired from the military. My father was a veteran. And I wanted something to depict nursing, veterans, my medical missions. So the story behind the Rose of No Man's Land is that during World War I and World War II, Red Cross nurses would go out into the battlefields to take care of wounded soldiers. And when the wounded soldiers would come back after being in the war, they would get this tattoo of this kind of old school, traditional, very cool nurse with a Red Cross, like the Red Cross sign on her. And for each nurse that took care of them, they would put a rose under the tattoo. So I brought it to my son and said, listen, I really like this. It's got a lot of meaning. I told him why. And he's like, can I put my own spin on it? And he did this fucking amazing job on this tattoo. It's beautiful, but it's very big. It's almost a half a sleeve. The two roses, to me, signified the two medical missions I had already been on, and I want to add a third rose for my third medical mission. That's my why.
Okay. So what you have there is a true self-expression mixed with the love of your son. If at any point you let someone come between you and the true expression of who you are mixed with the love of your son, you're going backward. You are going backward. Slam on the brakes, say, this is who I am, and fuck everything else anyone else has to say. Because
Amen.
This is you. This is who you are. This is your journey. And at the end of the day, they ain't dying with you. It is you who lives this journey and walks this path alone. And you have to remember who you are. And if cataloging this on your body in the form of a tattoo is where you was at the time, then that is where you are at. You cannot look back on it after someone has expressed an opinion and feel like you've done something wrong or feel like you're second place. Here's what. Way back in the day, I got a tattoo after going to a Stevie Nicks concert. It was a tramp stamp. And it was a tramp stamp. And I look at it every single day and I think to myself, I am so grateful you were there because you remind me of where I was at that moment. I had an apartment. I was 16 years old. I didn't have a whole lot going on for me except for my courage, my ambition, my drive, who I was as an entity. So I would be damned if I let anybody make a joke, make me feel bad, or make me feel second best, or make me feel judgmental about a true self-expression meant with all the love in the world. Let that go.
Beautiful. I love that.
I will. Thank you. That was good. And that's where my head was after the fact. When I did some soul searching on it, I just thought, why do I care? This is who I am, and I had a lot of meaning behind it.
Live your truth. Live your life. And if anybody else has commentary, ain't that cute?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, Carol. Well, I hope you
thank
take
you,
those.
Ken, and thank you, Gina. And again, I love the great show tonight. Go ahead with more questions with other people. I don't want to hold you guys up, but
no, thank you so much for calling in. I love it. Thank you so much for calling in with your question. It helps everybody when you call in. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well,
bye, babe.
Bye-bye.
All right, Ken, I think we got another caller, so let's see.
Let's have it. Absolutely.
Joanna, you are lucky to be on the line with Dr. Gina and Ken Boggle.
Hi. Hi, Gina.
Hi, this is Joanna.
Yes, this is Joanna.
Is this my friend Joanna?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Hi, Joanna.
Hello. I'm so happy I got through.
Let's get to the question. This is amazing because she talks to me all the time, Ken. Like this is my BFF. This is my best friend.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Hello. Hi.
What is your nickname for her?
My nickname for her?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I mean, I don't
hear it.
I don't like. Joanna's nickname for herself was Joanna Banana, and that was it. Like
Joanna Banana. Let's have it, Joanna Banana.
That's so funny. I'm so happy to get through. Yeah, me and Gina. Gina's my girl. She's been guiding me for a few years now. I think both back and forth. We kind of pull each other. We take turns, I guess we can say. And I don't want to hold anyone up. So I'm going to try to just cut to the chase, I guess. So it's very hard for me to find, complaints. I've really pulled myself out of like low vibration, something I wasn't even conscious of for a long time. And I'm really conscious of things. I connect with my angels. I'm intuitive, and I'm working on my soul. You know what? That universal message was 1,000% for me. So I want to kind of go off of your message earlier. I got my main job, which I'm extremely grateful for. And then I'm working on my soul mission, what I want to do. However, there's a couple things. I'm tired because it's hard to balance both. And I just need some, I know I'm headed in the right direction. I can taste it. I can feel the things coming in the air, in the manifestations. But I'm also very bored in my life. Just when you said boredom earlier, that just totally, you hit the nail on the head. So I pulled myself out of, the depression, the sadness, the fear, all that stuff. And I've been kind of just bored for a really long time. And I'm like, what is blocking me? What is I'm bored at work all day. I'm so grateful for my job. It pays well, but I'm bored. I'm freaking bored. And I need, you know what I mean? Like, it's just been a little too long, and I just need some guidance. Like, I need guidance.
Okay. As I said, this is my BFF, and Joanna knows sometimes she doesn't always want to hear what I have to say because it's a channel, and I'm completely careful when I say this to my BFF. So I'm going to let Ken answer this one for you, okay, Joanna? Everything happens for a reason, and you didn't expect Ken, so I'm going to let him take this.
Boredom is an interesting place to be. Boredom indicates a lack of movement.
Mm-hmm.
Boredom indicates a lack of satisfaction. Boredom indicates a desire to be stimulated in some way. So I have to ask you, are you doing every single thing you can, every single day, every single minute, to stay aware of where you're at and strive toward progress, strive toward evolution? Are you doing those things?
I feel like I always can be doing better, and that's one thing is in my personality. So I get tired. Like, I feel the weekends come, I'm exhausted. I'm bored. It's like this cycle of I'm gone 11 hours a day from my full-time job to the commute. So then I have to come home, I work out, I do yoga, then I got to clean, the whole life.
Oh, girl,
thing,
I know. I get it.
So
totally get it.
Right.
But we every single one of us is tired.
Yeah.
I'm so tired, I can't even abide by it.
Like,
I'm so tired,
yeah.
I can't do anything but really order a hot and ready from Little Caesars and lay there and watch Netflix. But at the end of the day, I know that if I stay in that place, I will become complacent, I will become lazy, I will become bored, stagnant, and unhappy. So you have to challenge yourself. What are you learning? What are you pushing yourself for? What are you striving for? If the answer is I don't have the answer, you better find one, because you have to progress. You have to learn. You're a higher vibrational being, and Gina, you know this is right. Mm-hmm. You are totally in a place where you are growing, and you are evolving, and you have got to feed your head. You have to feed your spirit. You have to feed your energy, and you have to learn something new. Pick up a paintbrush, pick up a pen, pick up a deck of cards. Do something that challenges you. Do something that adds value. If it don't add value, then you're in the wrong direction. But do something that adds value and challenges you on a regular basis. You ain't got time. I ain't got time. Gina ain't got time. Charlotte, nobody's got the time. However, it is an absolute necessity when you're a higher vibrational being.
Totally, yeah. I mean, I'm working on, I started a YouTube channel, and I'm working on my yoga business and all that stuff, and I love that. I really do, So it's just like between, I work my full-time job, and then I do that. And then it's like, well, like, what else? It's like I feel like I'm on a hamster wheel. You know what I mean? It's like I am challenging myself, and I'm starting to step out of my comfort zone and, put myself out there. But sometimes you just need to, have fun, and I'm feeling a lack. I'm just to be honest. I'm feeling very lack.
When was the last time you allowed yourself to make a huge mistake?
Oh, yeah, maybe that's the problem, right?
Yes, absolutely. Find yourself a big mistake, write it till 3 a.m. and then tell it to go home.
In men, but that's a whole other category.
But I mean, in general, find yourself a mistake and write it till you can't get enough, and then send it in an Uber to the house. Or do something for yourself where you are allowing yourself to learn something new. Gina, what do you think?
All right, I'm going to channel this one real quick. You ready, Joanna? All right.
Yeah.
Give me. So here's the thing, is that you're getting too caught up in your head right now. You're overthinking stuff. This is where your head starts to work too much and too far. Now, you're the one who talks about meditation. You're the one who said you have to calm it down, but you're not practicing what you preach. Get back into your meditation. Bring your mind down. Right now, your mind is taking the best over you and controlling you, and you're not finding that neutrality. You're 50 shades of mind ahead. So that's where your problem is right now. It's more or less bringing yourself back into that no thinking. Get comfortable in that boredom and the neutrality, because that's where you need to be right now. Don't start thinking about, oh, I need to have this fun. That's where I'm at. This is where I'm going right now. No, you got yourself out of the bottom of the emotional scale. Now you're in the boredom. Embrace where you're at right now and practice the neutrality. Nothing's going to happen on top of that scale right now until you're happy where you are right now in the neutrality. So stay where you are right now. Embrace it. Get into your meditation. Then you'll start to move. But you're trying to fight to keep out of the bottom right now. So stay where you're at. So that was your channel message.
I like
and
it.
remember that one of the best things about Buddhism, which I totally am a Buddhist, is calm abiding, being in a place where you are experiencing life as it is right here and now, and being at peace with that. Be at peace. Just be okay with where you're at, as you are.
I need to do this.
Now,
more.
there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people like myself, where the universe just slaps us right in the face and says, "Hey, surprise! Here's a divorce," or "Hey, surprise! Here's some bullshit." And what you've really got to do is you got to say, "Oh wow, I really missed those days where not a whole lot was happening, where not a whole lot was going on."
Like I know, like what am I
complaining
at peace with
about,
that?
Right.
Like,
and listen, my biggest piece of advice is: are you being of service to other people? If you find yourself bored, ask yourself, am I giving to other people as much as I should? And if the answer is no, go do something to help your fellow man.
Okay. I like that.
But and again, Joanna, just this show stopped. It's not live no more. So just so you remember this, the take-home message you have to carry is just get back to neutrality right now. That's it.
Yeah.
You're too far ahead. You've jumped too high. You're not ready for the high jump yet. So you're feeling like you're out of homeostasis because you went from the bottom and you jumped to the top. You need to stay in that middle for a little while.
For a little bit. Okay.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ken.
All right.
It's my absolute pleasure, Joanna Banana. Girl, have yourself a mistake, and then be of service to other people, and then allow yourself just to chillax. Just chillax.
You're so lucky to have Ken now, Joanna. We're taking Ken on this ride, this magical ride he didn't know he was getting on. We got these callers, and Ken's like trying to have a couple drinks, and now he's like on a caller ride.
Oh yeah.
So, Ken, we got another caller. You want to hang with us still?
Absolutely. We'll have one more, then I'm going to get back into my date because I'll be on a date right now. I said, look, I got to do Dr. Gina, and then I'll get back to you. Just a minute.
All right. Let's get the call.
Rose, you're live on the air with Dr. Gina.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you?
Hi, who do we have on the line?
Rose Maria.
Rose Maria. Hello, Rose Maria. What questions do you have for Ken and I?
A lot of things going on, personal stuff at home, and don't know what to do next about it. A lot of chaos.
Okay. So I'm going to start this one out and give it to Ken. So I'm going to just channel and get this energy going and see where we're at. So hold on for a second.
Appreciate it.
Okay. See, that's the thing is you need to have a starting place. Your energy is frayed. It's kind of like when you look at a wire and it hits the ground, say the electricity came and knocked that down and the wire jumps back up and forth. It hits the ground and it's fragmented. It's going There's nowhere for it to go. There's no grounding. You're not grounding yourself. So that's why there's so much chaos, because you're left, you're right, you're up, you're down. You need to bring your whole being down. This show is about self-love, but the biggest thing that it seems like the last couple callers are resonated with here is about quieting the mind, trying to find out who you are, resonate with who you are, because you're living everyone else's life. You're like, I have to do this for this person, not for that person. I have to do this, and this isn't going right, and that's not going right. You got 50 million things in your mind, so you don't get the answers. You're never going to hear the answers until you quiet the mind. Until the mind is quiet, nothing makes sense. you might have to start with doing something as much as journaling, writing this down, and then just concentrating on one thing at a time, visualizing what you want in each area. But you've got so many things going on. There's no way that you're going to get anything straight, or anything's going to manifest, or anything's going to vibrate well, or you're in a state of confusion because there's way too much. So you must start with bringing the mind down. So I'm going to let you jump in, answer that, and then Ken's going to jump in for you. So tell me your feedback on that, and then let Ken answer. So go ahead.
Yeah, being grounded is like every time I do that, you're right, and like it gets like into chaos. I don't know, like that's why I was calling like, what's the next step? Is like, what the hell? You know what I mean? It's like I've been grounding myself, and then hell breaks loose. If that makes sense.
Okay, so Ken, go ahead.
Thank you, babe. So my question is this about loved ones and people who are close to you that keep you in a state of chaos?
Yeah.
Okay, so press pause there. When was the last time you chose to love yourself and choose yourself first? When was the last time you did that?
Today. I wanted to do what I wanted to do for myself.
And how did that feel?
I'm pretty good. Good.
Maybe you should do a little bit more of that. Nobody needs you to be selfish, but people do need you to be full, taken care of, satisfied, and happy so that you can take better care of everyone else. I feel like there is so much emotional turmoil that you've not really sorted through and dealt with and processed, that you're really in a place where you're sort of just willy-nilly free-falling, like my good friend Tom Petty used to say. You're just free-falling. What you really need to do is ground yourself, remember to take care of you, and then give to everybody else. It's like I always say, take care of what is a necessity first, take care of you second, and then give a portion to everybody else. You are like a little bit of butter spread over too much bread. Ain't that right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool.
You need to get back to you, your priorities, and who you really are, aside from being the caregiver. And I'm done.
Yeah, true. Cool. Appreciate it, guys.
Okay.
All right, babe. Have a good night.
Hey, you too. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Ken. Well, I'm going to take a couple more callers, and I'm going to let you go because you're going to finish your date. So why don't you tell them how that they can get a hold of you, because the replay's still on, and then we're going to cut to my other callers. So let us know how we can get a hold of you, Ken.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. I love you much, Dr. Gina. I think you're fabulous.
Thank you.
And I follow you on the Instagram, as everybody absolutely should. This has been the most interactive podcast I have ever been on in 7 years. And so I'm so thankful to everybody who's listened and everybody who's called in. If you'd like to have a reading with me, go to tarotbyken.com. tarotbyken.com. Fill out the booking contact form. It will come directly to my email, and I will be more than happy to take care of you. But be prepared. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to help you through it, and then I'm going to follow up and make sure your ass did what I said. So take care of yourselves. Take better care of each other. And listen, follow me on social media. Follow me on the Twitter at Ken Boggle. Follow me on the Facebook at Ken Boggle, on the Instagram and all those things, because I want to be a part of your life. And thank you all for listening. Thank you all for being a part of this. Dr. Gina, I think you're amazing.
Thank you so much. I love you, Ken. Thank you so much for helping me.
I love you too. Have a good night, everybody. Yes. All right. I'm going to go have another vodka cranberry as God intended. Bye, everybody.
Yes. All right. Bye. Okay, so I'm going to take another caller.
Hi, Gina. My name's Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. Hi. Welcome to my Dr. Gina show. Thank you so much for waiting. It's been a busy night. So I am going to take your question.
Of course. Thank you. Okay, so my question is, when do you know when it's a test versus something that is something that you're meant to maybe give a little bit more time and healing to? My example is basically I was raising my vibe. I was in a good zone.
I was meditating, I was cutting cords, I was doing visualizations, and I released everybody from my past. And I just said, unless it's someone coming correct, cut them all. Like, I just don't want any of them. I'm ready for who it's meant to be. And lo and behold, not even on my radar, a twin flame pops up after 4 years. And we reconnect on 11/11, and everything was great. And then more recently, it's like all of a sudden I'm going, whoa, what's going on? It's like the runner chaser, the hot cold, and I'm going, is this just a transitional thing that we're like needing to work through, or is this a test? And then if it is a test, why on earth does the universe send you another freaking test after you already did the work?
Okay, I love this question, and like Spirit's already jumping in to talk and answer this for me. They're so excited.
And by the way, I'm the tea gal. To touch base, you might remember from online, from the Instagram.
I'm sorry, what did you say? I didn't hear that one.
The tea person, the cup of tea. We text about the tea, yeah. So anyways, giving you a reference of who I am.
Yeah, I guess my guy Bruce is jumping in, so I'm going to channel this. Because this is a great question. So I'm going to channel, then I'll come out and we'll talk. So just give me a second.
Okay.
Okay, so the question, is this a test? And the twin flame thing. So here's the thing, is we come here and we all come here for different reasons. We're all incarnated. We sit there with our guides and our spirit team, and we write the book, the Akashic Records, the chapter of this life that you came to right now. We write what it is we want. So this could be from past lives. We could say, my other life, I kept failing. I was in an abusive relationship. I was, getting physically abused, and I couldn't pull myself out of it. I'm going to come back to this life, and I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen. I'm going to love myself so much. I'm not going to have that relationship in my life. There could be people that come in a past life, and say they were a call girl, and they're saying, I could not pull myself out of that life. I'm going to come back. You come back to this life and you're given a test. You're going to elevate yourself. You're not going to let yourself. You were in the lowest form. So just raising that vibration so much that you're going to love yourself, and you plan on it. Before you come here, you want to pass that test. You're going to make sure that you don't. So this twin flame, people use this word twin flame a lot, and they throw that around down here. What is this twin flame we vibrate on? Is there a twin flame? That's kind of tricky. I'd say that you're saying it's a twin flame, or people coin that term here because it's where you're vibrating. It's your energy. You're vibrating at that energy to attract that. So people can call it a twin flame because you're both at that energy. But is this a test? Is this a test you're given? Well, this person could be in your life for a test, or someone else could be in for your test. But this goes all the way back to you, what it is you're going to stand for. Because when you pick this person back up on 11/11, your energy was vibrating so good that them and you were matching and vibrating together. But somewhere in between, your energy slipped and you felt not good enough, not secure enough, which changed that energy vibration, which caused that energy to push back. Nothing changed in the relationship from that other person. What has changed is the way your energy vibrated. You lost yourself. You started #failing your fucking test. You have to go back to #pass your fucking test. Bring your vibration back up, because you know what's going to happen when you do? This person is going to start vibrating back where you attracted them when your energy was high. Or they're going to drop off and you're not going to care and you're going to get somebody else. So is this a test? Yes, you're right. You're in this test, but the test goes back to you to bring in your vibration of self-love up to where you need it to be, because that's why energy has changed. Somewhere, somehow, because of the first maybe slip that this person gave you, you started slipping a little, till you got so low that now you're like hard to get back up where you need to be. So let's bring that vibration back up to neutrality. You can start that by saying when something goes wrong or you feel like you're not getting that, just no energy to it, no energy. Not walk away from it right now. Just no energy to whatever situation goes bad. So you won't feel any energy. That person doesn't call you back. No energy. that person doesn't give you no energy. Don't walk away from it right now, but don't give energy to whatever it is that's not vibrating well with you. Concentrate on the good things this person has. Write down in your book all the things that you enjoy about this person and concentrate only on the enjoyable things, so you'll start attracting more enjoyable. When you start vibrating and thinking about what you're getting that doesn't resonate with you, that's when you get more of that. Okay, so come out of that. So did that, that was all channeled. So does that message make sense to you?
Oh, yeah, that was a big one. Yes, absolutely makes sense.
Because what I'm channeling,
no energy is. Go ahead.
When I'm channeling, I hear the message, but, you know, I'm not like, it comes so fast, I have to talk so fast. But just like what I remember from what I heard from this channel from now, what I'm hearing, which again is what the show has been talking about, this is your energy, you see? You understand that? You haven't been feeling worthy about this. Nothing has changed. This person still feels the same about you. I'm telling you, because now I'm in my Dr. Gina psychic channel. Like, I'm looking, like, this person still has so much energy, so much attraction, so much vibration. The only thing that's changed is you. This person still has all these great things for you, but you got to look at what this person has positive for you so that you bring more of that to you, you see?
Right. And that's what that was so spot on, because like as soon as there was a shift, it's like I got very sensitive, plus I'm intuitive too, and I'm an empath, so I can pick up on energies, and I was taking it personal. Then that was making me insecure, and I'm usually a highly confident person, so I was just like, what is going on? And then it kept shifting, and the more I fed it energy, like what's going on, the more it became predominant that's what was happening. So now that makes sense of no energy, of doesn't call, who cares, next time I feel like calling or whatever, just move forward is what I'm sensing from this. Yeah. Just keep doing me.
It's not time, and I hear this clearly, it's not time for you to walk away from, sometimes, and I'll clearly tell my clients, it's time for you to walk away from this situation. But this is not. This is the time for no energy. So they don't call you right back. No energy. You want to call or text them? Do it. No ego. Call and text and say whatever it was you want to say. There's no energy to anything that's unfavorable, and anything you want to do, put that ego aside. You want to tell this person how much you love them? No ego, send it. You want to tell this person you miss them? No ego, send it. They don't call you back? No energy. You see? No energy and no ego. Those are the motto for today. And also writing down everything that you bring to this relationship positive and everything that he brings to the relation positive, and concentrate on that. There's no negative side.
Okay.
That
makes sense.
I hope that happened. I mean, I hope that helped you. I hope that was good. Did it resonate?
Yeah, no, that was very good, because that's what like if I don't hear from the person. And it's so funny because I just put this into motion last week. The person's on a trip, and I just said, when are you back? But before they could respond, which they usually respond right away, they hadn't. I didn't give it energy, and something really amazing happened in my life. So I just called to share the good news, and it was right there. And he was like, I can't wait to hear about it, blah, blah, blah. So it was just a total shift. And I'm like, wow, that felt like before. Like, that was the good one, not the crappy, like, didn't call you back.
And the message that I got, clearly, when I channeled that, was, yes, this person, see, the person still is into you. It's you. That's it. It's so easy for you right now. It's so easy for you to get back to where you want. So easy. It really is. It's no energy and no ego. Those are your two mantras right now. And you'll be right back.
Focus on writing what's the positive things that we both bring to the table and that I appreciate.
Yes.
From that person.
This is a good relationship. It's just energy went bad. That's it. Not time to give up.
Okay.
It's time to give. That's all.
Okay, just do the shift. That makes total sense. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for calling in. I'm going to have some tea soon. We will talk.
Yes, we need to have our tea, for sure. Thank you. Okay, anytime you let me know. All right. And I'm going to send you also my meditation CD for you. It's a download to try.
Okay, do that. Thank you.
I'll screenshot you the code for it so you can get it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I got one more caller coming, so let's get this one in.
Hi, Nikki. You're live on the air with Dr. Gina.
Hi, Gina. How are you, hon?
Hi. Who do I have?
Nikki.
Nikki, is this Nikki that I went to school with? Work with?
Yep, it's me.
Oh my God, this is amazing! Like, you're my last caller. I love you. I
love you too.
This is my girl that I was in the horrible job that I talk about so much with now. But this summer we were both occupational therapists. One summer, it was actually my first summer that I think that I ever worked. Yeah, and we had a summer rotation in a school in Harlem, and Nikki, that was when I got my tattoo. I remember too, and I was like, I just had finished my tattoo, and we did a rotation, and Nikki saved me through the whole summer. It was one of those summers where I could have been in such low energy, but every day Nikki kept me high on the emotional scale, and I was able to get through it thanks to her. And
thank you. You helped me through a lot of stuff. I think about the memories from what happened that summer, and I just laugh. I'm like, yo, I love Gina. Gina's the best. She's real.
And I just remember right before your wedding, too, I remember sitting at my desk. You were getting married, and your mother came to me to tell me about some blue eyeshadow that you were wearing. I remember it was like, and I had, you didn't know I was a medium. And at the time, I'm like, no. And your mom would make me call. She's like, tell her. And I'm like, she's going to think I'm crazy. She don't know I'm a medium. And she's like, tell her not to wear. And I had to call you. And she's saying something about you were wearing a necklace or something. I had to call you at my desk and say, don't wear the blue eyeshadow. And you're like, oh, my God, I did wear blue eyeshadow. And I am wearing the necklace. I'm like, don't think I'm crazy.
I remember. Thank you so much for everything. And today when I saw your message, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to call. I'm like, yeah, let me listen. Like, okay, sounds good. And then when you gave that general message, I was like, oh, my God, Gina's talking to me. So I nearly cried, and I'm like, oh, my God, you're just so talking to me because I'm so conflicted about so many things. And I'm just like in a fog half the time, and I just don't understand. So I'm just like, okay. That's all.
Well, thank you so much. And you're obviously so I am a medium. I do obviously talk to spirits. And when I do the show, I talk to the council. So I channel them. I don't really get, past relatives because I'm not in that channel. However, for some reason, it's probably because your mother is coming through again to me right now. So your mother actually wants to answer this question for you. Okay. Doesn't usually happen on the show, but. So just let's listen to what she has to say because she wants to talk to you, okay? So hold on for a second. Okay. So I'm so proud of all you've done and your beautiful children and all you've raised. But it's time now for you to do what it is that you're meant to be. And you're feeling like your spirit and your soul is off. You have to keep praying. God is going to show you the way of what to do. You hear it. You're just turning the other way because you feel like you have responsibility, things that you need to finish. You feel like you have responsibility for things you have to put in, but you're not fulfilling your soul. You need to go for your purpose, what fills your heart. You need to start filling your heart up. She's calling you baby girl. You need to fill up your heart, baby. You need to take what is for you, baby. She's saying, take care of yourself, baby. Take care of yourself. You've been taking care of everyone. I just want you. She's very emotional. She just wants you to take care of yourself right now. Put yourself first. Okay? So she is, we'll definitely talk again. I want to come visit you because she's got a lot to say, and I don't want to say everything here. I don't really have the time. But does that make sense to you, what she said?
Yes, it does. Perfect sense.
Okay. And I know that you can feel her, and your mother's very spiritual, okay? Very religious. Yes. So she believes in, praying. She's saying the answers are going to come to you. Stay in your face, she's telling me. Stay in your face, and you're going to get your answers. But her biggest thing is she's calling you baby girl, baby. I want you to take care of yourself. It's time to take care of yourself. Okay?
I will. Oh, thank you.
I hear the kiddos in the back. So I hope that helps you, and I hope you get some clarity on what she means.
Yeah. Yes? I will definitely
Okay.
pray on it, and this resonates a lot. And I do put a lot of people first and a lot of things first, so definitely, yeah.
Well, you're going to get the answer, okay? I'm going to also send some good vibes and know that your mother's there. And she's talking about some scarf. I don't know what she means by this, Nikki, but she's talking about a scarf, okay? So pay attention about some scarf. I don't understand, but she's going to give you some sign. I don't know if you're going to I don't know, understand this at all, but just remember that. She's talking about a scarf, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I will. Gina,
right.
thank you.
All right, lovely girl. Thank you so much.
Love you too, hon. All right.
Okay, bye. Okay, guys, I am closing up the show. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening and hanging with me for this extra time. It was an extra show, super amazing that we got to have Ken call in and get these callers. I'm so appreciative for each and every one of the callers, and I am blessed to have them, and I thank Charlotte for hanging. She hasn't felt well, and she hanged this whole time. I thank all my friends out there that are listening, all the followers. Where will we be without you? We all help and give each other strength by calling in and just giving energy, and I'm very, very grateful, and thank you all, and God bless everybody, and have a good night until the next Dr. Gina show. Bye.